Let me introduce to you again. She is the account coordinator in the Center for Continuing Education and Special Competencies. Let me call on Miss Mia Ann H. Babihis.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mia Mabihis, Sales Account Coordinator of Mapua Center for Continuing Education and Special Competencies, or CCESC. Before anything else, I would like to ask if you are interested in anime, mobile games, K-drama. Did you know that we have Japanese language, Java programming, and Korean language as for short courses? Because Mapua CCESC is the training arm of Mapua University that provides curriculum integrated program and continuing professional education. For CIP, training courses with certification are embedded and aligned in the curricula that shall prepare the student to become competitive in the industry. Upon graduation, while for CPE, training courses are conducted for students, alumni, professional who would like to enhance and to update their special competencies. As for video a while ago, that's are the short courses offered by Mapua. For the first video, we have Management Academy. For CPE courses program, EECE, Electrical Engineering and Electronics Computer Engineering. For the DFMA Academy, these courses is for Electrical Engineering program. We also have Cybersecurity Academy for the CPE students and ECE students. For the CIP also, or Curriculum Integrated Program, for the ECE, we have Cisco, CompTIA, and Safety Engineering courses. While for the CPE, we have our Unix and .NET, CompTIA, and Safety Engineering. We also have short courses for language. We have Mandarin and Japanese. In your OJT, we will having an announcement regarding with your TOEIC proficiency test. This will be the requirement before you enroll your OJT courses. For these courses, we want to invite all of you to enroll in our CPE courses in the tracks of engineering, safety, and IT management languages. I shall put in the chat box our social media accounts. Hope you could click like and follow us. And of course, see you soon in the inquiry and in our trainings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Mia Ann Babihis, for the talk about the Center for Continuing Education and Special Competencies. So for our next speaker, we'll talk about the electrical engineering program. He is a faculty member in the Electrical Engineering Department, School of EECE, Engineer John Christian Wynick Dao. Hello, sir.
Hello, good morning, Frosh, Frosh, no? Can you guys hear me? Am I loud and clear?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear po.
Yes, okay. So I am Engineer John Christian Nicdaw. You can call me Engineer JC. I'm a part-time professor or instructor in the School of EECE for Mapua, and I'm also doing a part-time in MCM as an instructor in the EE courses there, no, Malayan Colleges of Mindanao. The reason why I am a part-time instructor is because I'm also working in the industry, no. So I've been working with Ayala. I have worked with Ayala for the past decade. And then after this year, I decided to put up my own company, and that is JYN Construction and Engineering Services. So I have prepared here a short video presentation of for the school of for the Department of E under the School of EECE. So let's watch the video. What electrical engineer will you become? A power systems engineer? Or probably a designer and consultancy engineer? Do you see yourself in the construction industry? Or probably you are a CEO, a child of the owner who would like to start in sales. Are you the brainy type of guy who would like to be a researcher? Or maybe the Superman that will solve our problem on the power scarcity as a renewable energy source engineer? Or an ideal setup in the corporate world as an energy manager? Are you fond of troubleshooting? Facilities and maintenance is the right job for you. Do you have the dedication, vocation, and passion in teaching? We welcome you here in the Academy. What do we offer? Go to the website www.mapua.edu.ph, and then from there, you type in the search tab curriculum. After typing in the curriculum, it will give you options. Go to the EECE program website. Then from there, look for the link that says Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. Just scroll down and look for the curriculum tab. Your curriculum is segmented into three categories, from general engineering to minor electrical engineering courses, and of course your majoring courses. These are the specializations in EE. Specializations can be applied during the first quarter of the third year level based on the 2021 Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering curriculum. But note, specializations are indicated in the BSEE curriculum catalog. Let us now proceed with the particulars. Here at Mapua, we will nurture your critical thinking by providing you with complex problems in engineering, effects of engineering in safety and environment, professional impact as a cultivating process. Here at Mapua, we value our moral principles: desire, discipline, excellence, commitment, integrity, and relevance. With our state-of-the-art learning experience for our students, we were recognized by the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology as a world-class technical university. What is modular learning? Here are the advantages of modular system and the outcome-based education grading system. Granular delivery of courses. Multiple opportunity to pass modules. A student only needs to pass one module in a course so as not to incur a grade of 5 or a 0. If a student passes at least one module in a course, he will only need to repeat the modules he failed to pass and not the full course. For the academic review, please check your Mapua handbook.
Just ensure that your general weighted average should not be more than 3.5. For the EE Board licensure examination held in 2019, we were able to gather 100% passing mark for the first takers. We were able to achieve this milestone by having our intensive in-house review conducted by our faculty members. Mapua also focuses on researches and continuous learnings. Here are some of the awards and recognition acquired by the School of EECE through its students and faculty. This pandemic gave us the opportunity to break through and innovate a new setup for our students to conduct their seminars and field trips.
Okay. Okay. Sige. So I think for the EE students, we are now offering the platform for probably around hello. Ayan. Okay, so I think we will now open the floor probably for around 3 to 5 questions from EE. So for the MCs, can you please run through with the question and answer kung meron tayo from the platform? Wala na raw tayo. Okay.
Thank you, Engineer John Christian Nickdow, for that meaningful presentation about the EE program. And on behalf of the EECE department, we wish you good luck to your company. Our next speaker, he will discuss the electronics engineering program. He is a member of the electronics engineering department, School of EECE, Engineer Jesse J. R. Balbin.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Can you see me and can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in behalf of my fellow faculty members and the chairwoman of the program for electronics engineering, it is actually my honor to present to you the program itself. So first of all, welcome to the School of EECE. So next slide, please. So let's begin with your 3.5 year journey. Let me be your guide. Let this presentation be your guide in your 3.5 year journey. So actually, choosing ECE is actually the second best thing that you have ever done in your life. The first best thing is being here in Mapua. So the first best thing being here in Mapua with us, it's we are actually assuring you of the best education that you deserve. So what are the expectations and what you will be doing in the next 3.5 years? So let's begin with the first slide. Next slide, please. Okay, so being able to be with us today actually is your first day of becoming an electronics engineer in the future. Okay, so electronics engineering is actually a profession with broad field. There are several fields that you can actually learn in the future when you are working already. So there are different specializations which I am going to present to you later. And don't worry and don't be fearful about it because this profession is actually the broadest, I think, amongst the different engineering courses. So let me start with the next slide. So let me give you a little background of the ECE. So pardon me because I am not really the one manipulating the presentation. It's really hard. Okay, so next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so BSECE, BSECE, as you can see in the previous slide, was first offered by Mapua way back in 1970s. So there are only 19 students during the time. So at the present, there are different evolution of the program itself already. So now BSc Electronics Engineering is actually taught in two ways. It's blended and fully online. And there's after that, you can actually take Master's of Science in Electronics Engineering, which is also offered in blended and fully online. And you can actually take BSMS simultaneously. You have a BSMS degree in Electronics Engineering simultaneously if you want to conserve time and money as well. So being here today, actually, I suppose that you are enrolled in the blended program. So let me discuss that. So in blended program, there would be synchronous. When we say synchronous, that's similar to the face-to-face traditional kind of whiteboard teaching, wherein you're going to meet your professors, instructors every time during the synchronous course. And on the asynchronous, your professors are gonna be uploading some activities in Blackboard. We will be utilizing Blackboard. Okay, so all of you will be having an account. I guess you already have an account. And all those activities will be there in Blackboard. So now we call it blended. Okay, so next slide, please. So first of all, our program have a different accreditation, receive different accreditation from different accrediting bodies. So we have an accreditation from PACUCOA, so this one on the right, and this one on the left is given by the PAAP. Okay, so next slide. This one is given by the CHED, the Center of Excellence in Electronics Engineering. Next slide. So we are obvious because I can say that we should be really proud because our program is basically the first ABET program in the university or in the Philippines as well. So basically, ganito pala kids, baka nalilito kayo. In Mapua, we call the degree as program. So when you are asked what is your program, okay, your answer would be electronics engineering. So instead of rather saying what's your degree, we call it program. And when we say courses, okay, we are referring to the subjects that you are presently taking up that term. So when you are asked, so what are your courses this term? So your answers would be the subjects written in your certificate of matriculation or CM. Okay, is that clear? So next slide. So there are several awards and recognitions that we have received. And of course, electronics engineering in Mapua is considered to be the best electronics engineering schools in the Philippines. So no need to mention that, but you know very well that engineering in Mapua is basically the best. So next. So I would like to emphasize on this. So ECE also is under the OBE grading system and the modular system. So what is OBE and modular system? So this, I think this is really important for you to know. Before OBE, basically, grades are only dependent on your scores and quizzes and final exam. So only measured there is basically your intellect. So regardless of your emotions, whether you are taking the exam broken-hearted or any fortuitous or force majeure that might be happening. So your grades is only dependent on the scores that you will be getting. But because of the OBE, which is outcomes-based, there are several activities wherein you can showcase not only your intellect but also your skills and talents. So it's like this class. Every week, your professor, you're gonna be uploading a certain kind of task. So there are activities like works, assignments, group activities, projects, and we call it formative assessment. So at the end of each module, you will be given a summative assessment. So both summative and formative assessment scores will be the basis of your grade. So the term is divided into three modules. So each module comprised of the first one, it has 4 weeks. The second module has 4 weeks, and the third one has 3 weeks. Okay, so in a modular system, why modular system? Next slide. Modular system basically is more advantageous compared to the usual, the traditional kind of grading system because it will give you a lot of opportunity to actually pass the subject, okay, and not to incur right away a grade of 5 or a failing grading MAPUA. So how is that? So provided that you are present during the module, even let's say submit all the requirements, but however you are not able to pass the passing grade of that particular course, you will still be given a chance to pass it. You will be given a remedial exam for you to get a numerical grade other than 5. Don't worry about it. Okay, so you can only receive a grade of 5 if you are absent all throughout the duration of the module. And if you will be getting an IT on the modules, so your course grade will be 5. So kaya make sure that you are going to submit all the requirements provided to you by the prof. So that's the modular system. So until you are submitting all the requirements, you are taking up the exam, and you are given the remedial exam wherein you need to pass. So you will be given a grade of 3 for IT. And if you are going to get a grade of I, so you can get another numerical values aside from 3. So kaya yun yung advantage ng modular system. So now I'm gonna be presenting to you the outline of the course. Next slide. Okay, actually in your first year MAPUA, the first 3 terms, okay, is they are basically devoted into the general engineering courses. So officially, you are only going to meet us on your 4th term. So next slide. So in your 4th term, you can see here that your first subject in our department, in our school, is basically Circuits 1 and Electronics Laboratory. So in your 2nd year, next slide, you will actually have your communication subject, okay? And at this point in time, you can actually start with your research, method of research, and thesis courses. Next slide. So don't worry, those highlighted basically are the subjects that are non-academic. However, you need to accomplish them in order for you to graduate. So next slide. I will be giving more emphasis on the thesis, design, OJT, seminars and field trip, okay, because there are other activities that you need to actually submit and accomplish before you can graduate, which is under these courses. So next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, next. Ayan. So now, let's talk about the different specialization. In ECE, you can actually pick one of these. So there's broadcasting, integrated circuits design. If you have talents in ICs, so if you want to land in a job in ABS-CBN, GMA, the like of that, you can actually enroll in broadcasting. Okay, so we have communication subjects, communications track, which involves navigation and wire and wireless communication. You can also pick biomedical engineering, test development, robotics, and automation and controls. And you can actually choose advanced IT networking, cybersecurity, and power electronics. So each of these specialization track, next slide, is connected to an industry linkage. Like for example, the automation, industrial automation is provided by the industrial automation companies, and Emerson is providing laboratories for the power electronics. Okay, Cisco for advanced internet protocol and networking. For test and measurements, you have analog devices. And for microelectronics, so there's Scientific Semiconductors. So next slide. Okay, so like what I mentioned earlier, passing thesis is really important because don't be fearful about this, okay? When you have your thesis already, you will be given an advisor you can collaborate to do your research. Don't worry about it. So thesis is like 3-term course, okay? So the first term is you need to present a proposal. The second term is the proper undertaking of your thesis. And the third term is the final thesis defense, wherein you need to do all the recommendations provided by the panel. So, however, aside from passing the thesis, we are requiring you to actually publish your paper. So that is why, as you can see, you are actually required to publish your paper. It has to be an Scopus index paper. Next slide. Okay, so these are during the times of the face-to-face when there's no pandemic yet. Students are actually presenting their papers either locally or internationally. There are international conferences, locally conferences where you can attend, and their proceedings will be published. Included there is actually the article of your paper. So next slide, as shown by Ma'am Ira. Okay, so OJT has been discussed by Ma'am Ira earlier. Okay, so to cap up, so there are local and international OJTs, but nowadays, since it's only virtual, there are also virtual internship, international internship, and local internship that don't worry about this because the Ma'am Iras has just said the school is actually providing you with the best company for your OJT. So next slide. Okay, so these are some of the exchange programs and OJT provided by. Okay, aside from that, okay, in our program. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay, so these are the faculty members that you're gonna be meeting, and we are looking forward to be meeting you in the future, guys. So, okay. So needless to say, we have actually we have a lot of boy top notchers already, and our passing percentage since the beginning of ECE program, okay, exceeds the national passing percentage. So these are the rosters of faculty for ECE. Okay, next slide. Excited to see every one of you and learn properly. So just enjoy your journey and rest assured that the faculty members you're going to be meeting are really accommodating, understanding, considerate, and even though that we are in pandemic right now, we will be making sure that we can reach all the knowledge that you get from our department. So thank you very much, and have a good day. Enjoy your ECE journey. So bye.
Thank you, Engineer Jessie J. Balbin, for that very informative presentation about the electronics engineering program. So for the next speaker, she will give a talk about...
Okay, so that will be all for me now. So let's have the CPE, Jo Villaverde.
Yes, She will give a talk about the computer engineering program. She is a research coordinator in the School of EECE and a faculty member in the Computer Engineering Department, Dr. Jocelyn F. Villaverde.
Hey, so hello guys, can everybody hear me? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So Mom Jo apparently has some technical difficulties right now, so it's brown out in their area. My name is Thea Foronda. I'm a second year student of computer engineering here in Mapua. So I think I'm going to be the one to present to you the computer engineering slides, if you don't mind, and I hope you learn a lot from me since it's better coming from an upperclassman. Okay, these will all be viewed from my point of view. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so what exactly is the Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering? So, Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering is a program that embodies the science and technology of design, development, implementation, maintenance, and integration of software and hardware components in modern computing systems and computer-controlled equipment. So, I would know that if you've done your research before choosing your course, that this is like mesh of hardware and software. Okay, so next. Okay, so the computer engineering department is recognized by different accreditation bodies for giving quality of education. So we have here a CHED Center of Excellence by the Commission on Higher Education. Next, we have an accreditation from the Philippine Technological Council. Next, we are also ABET accredited, so Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. We also have that as for other engineering subjects as well. Next. We also have a certification from the Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities Commission. Okay, next. So we have the learning management systems. We use Cardinal Edge for our Blackboard for our online learning, and when it's face to face, we also use it for blended learning. We have Mapua Digital Academics, so the initiative in delivering fully online programs through its very own platform, Cardinal Edge as well. Okay, next. Here we have all of the resources where you can get your other knowledge from. So we have our textbooks, we have MindTap, we have Wiley Plus, and others as well. Okay, next. Okay, so let's talk about the core term system. So before going to Mapua, you must have done your research. We have 4 terms every year. So in 4 terms, we have 11 weeks to complete all of our requirements. Next. Here are the tracks offered. Okay, so this is exciting. So we have embedded systems track, Unix administration, software application development, cybersecurity, and biomedical engineering. So let's introduce them one by one. Okay, next. As for embedded systems, the goal of this track is to take a holistic view of the embedded system stack with a focus on processor architectures, instruction sets, and associated advanced compiler optimizations that take advantage of the same. As your upperclassman, I would associate this with something similar to Big Hero 6. That's what I've learned. Okay, next. Unix administration. This track will provide you the skills and knowledge of Unix or Linux. It is divided into 4 parts. First is the fundamental of Unix. Next is the Linux system administration. Then we have network administration and security. And last would be shell scripting. Okay. Next is software app development. This specialization introduces students to the state-of-the-art programming technologies, design, and development of desktop, mobile, and web application. It emphasizes on the use of software tools, APIs, and SDKs, which will enable the creation of cross-platform applications. Topics include device capabilities, industry standards, and best practices, user experience, especially SQL for big data, and web applications and frameworks. Okay. Cybersecurity. All right. Ethical hacking. This track covers foundation knowledge and essential skills in all security domains in the cyber world. This track is divided into 4 courses: Introduction to Cybersecurity, Cybersecurity Operations, and Network Security. So if you want to learn some of that, you might be interested in that. Okay, next. Up next, biomedical engineering. So this is the application of engineering principles to the fields of biology and healthcare. So you'll have a lot of biology subjects here, as well as hardware, you know. Okay, up next, here's the curriculum. So you can see here, yeah, like your lecture hours and credit units are seen here. And after you finish your degree, if you have 3 years and 1 quarter, uh, you will have 4 years to finish your BSMS. Okay. Next, there. In this slide, you can see Bachelor of Science, Master of Science in Computer Engineering. This is 4 years. So if you have BS, that's 3 years and 1 quarter, and if your BSMS, that's 4 years. Okay. Next. The students are required to publish their thesis paper in Scopus index, conference, or article. So international conference presentation and journal submission, those are your requirements for your publication. Okay, next. Computer lab. One of these laboratories will serve as your classroom for your stay here in Mapua University. From my experience, they're very cold. Okay, next. Here are some pictures of N201 and N203 in the North Building, which will be your home if you're, part of the EECE, of course. Next. Here's the Logic Laboratory, N203, N205B, and NW304. NW stands for Northwest. Embedded Systems Laboratory and Microprocessor Laboratory. Okay, next. Your local field trip, exciting. Cebu and Davao, they had their local field trip. Of course, I'm an online student, so I never got to experience this. Looks really fun. Okay, next. We also have international field trips from the other. Okay, so here's Malaysia and Japan. Up next is South Korea, Singapore, and Tokyo. Okay, next. Here we introduce the technical assistants of the School of EECE, Miss Rowena A. Ramido and Miss Rochelle F. Nadiri. Okay, next is the faculty of CPE. I've had good experiences with them. Here's Sir Mayo Vincent Kaya, Mark Christian Garcia, Sir Hortinella Carlos, and Ma'am Cyril Ontimar Emanciles. Okay, next, Sir Maramba, Sir Padilla, Ma'am Pellegrino, and Cersei. Okay, next. Okay, here are some more professors, Sir Isagani, Ma'am Jo, and Ma'am Yumang. Okay, next. Here we have the CPE subject chair. His name is Engineer Noel B. Linsangan. We go to him mostly for academic advising and other stuff. Okay, next. Here's Dr. Arnold C. Paglinawan. He's the Dean of the School of EECE. You might have heard him talk earlier in this program. Okay, next. Here are our achievements as the CPE department. We have the CPE Challenge and Regional Contest. Next. Okay. So more awards you can see there. Okay, up next. Up next is the ICT competition. So we also offer competitions from Huawei and, Okay, next. Okay, thank you for listening, guys. I hope you learned a lot from me. I'm not Mom Jo, but, I hope you learned a lot from me. Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay, that was a very good talk from the faculty members of the EECE department, as well as Ms. Thea Foronda for representing the CPE program. I hope you guys grasp the important points you must know about the programs under the Department of EECE. And thank you also for the unwavering support of the faculty members. Okay, good morning, students. For now, I will be taking over the mic. I am your host, Kathleen Andy Rodriguez from the organization of ISEP MUSC. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are still there. There's still a lot of organizations that we will be introducing to you. Now, without further ado, let us all welcome Mr. Alexander Noel C. Castillo, External Vice President from the EECE Student Council. Mr. Alexandre, the floor is yours.
All right, is my audio on? All right.
Your audio is on.
So yeah, good afternoon, Frosh. I am Alexandre Noel C. Castillo. So I am the current external vice president of the Mapua EECE Student Council, and I am here to discuss to you the council as a whole. So next slide, please. So, for a brief introduction, so the EECE Student Council is the constituted student government of the School of Electrical, Electronics, and Computer Engineering, which is responsible for conducting student activities for the holistic development of its student members, and we promote and advance student rights and welfare of the EECE students as in general. So, especially now that we are in a pandemic, syempre, mas naging malaking role namin dyan sa pag-asika, not only sa pag-aasikaso, but also to help the students in their needs, um, from academic assistance or may concern sila regarding some inquiries. So, yeah. Next slide, please. So, ayun, I will not discuss these committees in a long shot. So I'll just give you a brief introduction to the committees. So we have the executives, the logistics, scholastics, welfare. Next slide, please. The documentation, creatives, and amusement committee. So those are the committees that are in the student council. Next slide, please. So here are the list of events that the student council handles in our department. Next slide. So first off is the program orientation. Well, it's a different scenario from our current orientation. So basically, it just orients all of you to the different programs to the EEC department. So this is what pre-pandemic, this is what the program orientation looks like, as you can see here. Next slide, please. The next is the student dialogue. So in this event, students and the faculty and the board are here to discuss some concerns regarding if it's either academics or some faculty or in the faculty or in other concerns regarding the university in general. And dito madidiscuss din ng faculty yung mga, and syempre yung board, yung mga possible solutions na pwede nilang may offer sa mga concerns na yon. Currently we are planning to conduct this very soon. So yeah, we hope you anticipate for it. So next slide, please. Ayun. So next is the thesis colloquium. So ayun naman, narinig niyo na rin naman sa mga discussions earlier ng mga profs. So usually nangyayari ito sa mga thesis, nagte-thesis 3. So dito the students are going to defend their thesis in front of a panel of judges, and also they attend a group of students. So last academic term, we conducted it online through a video presentation before questions on the defense. So next slide, please. So ito, the EECE night. So this is a pre-pandemic event. Last year hindi namin siya na-conduct kasi nga due to the circumstances of the pandemic. But basically, this is an event that aims to showcase each student of the EECE department. As you can see naman sa images, meron ditong pageant. Siyempre, ito na rin yung chance ng mga students para maging to get to know each other and grab some friends as well. Next slide, please. So next is yung inter-org. So itong event na ito na yung parang sports fest ng department, which is composed of all the different organizations ng EEC department maglalaban-laban. So in different sports. So last academic year, we hosted esports tournament as an alternative sa mga events na yan. Next slide please. And the other one is the EEC Week. So ito isang week-long event na magbibigay, it aims to give opportunity syempre sa mga students to participate in a series of webinars or in a series of games or conferences. So next slide please. Then lastly is yung EECE summer outing. So ito din pre-pandemic din event din siya. So as the title suggests, so ano siya, so, summer outing. You get to enjoy with the other EECE students in certain events. So yun. And that basically sums up the whole EECE student council in general. So as of now, we are looking for new officers and committee members for the upcoming academic year. So as you can see here on the screen, we have here our positions are open for the first year representative in the executive committee, and we are also looking for new members in all of the other committees that are posted on the right side. So if you have any inquiries, please contact the following through Messenger, of course, me, Alexandre Noel Castillo, and our president, Sophia Cabading. So I hope you had a good time listening to my presentation. I hope you are able to make up your mind and hopefully join us in the student council very soon. So thank you guys. Welcome to Mapua.
Oh, okay, thank you, Mr. Alexandre, for introducing the EECE Student Council. Now, let us proceed to the organizations from the EECE department. So there are 5 different organizations the EECE department can showcase. So distinctively, they have their own line of expertise and focus. I bet your curiosity wants to know what these are. Okay, so let us move on to the next organization first. So let us hear the voice of the president of the Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines, Mapua University Student Chapter, Ms. Jewel Kate Lagman, to give us an introduction and glimpse of what ISEP MUSC can offer.
So, hello, good morning everyone. I am Jewel Kate Lagman, the Batch 70 President of the ISEP. So, we just celebrated our 35th anniversary last July, and I want to share you guys our station ID. Next slide, please.
Pagdating sa Mapua, diretsyo na agad ang bayad. Dala-dala ang photo, wala pang tulog sa ay sa pagtulungan.
Mga office ng titigil, may naglalarong PS4 at maya-maya lang may darating mag-aayang kumain.
Pagpatak ng alauna, kanya-kanya ng ginagawa. May nagre-resibo, may nagtuturo, pre ano sa dito? May nanghihingi na OT, may nag-iingay sa Gedli. At ang mga kwento di nauubos maghapon ang tawanan.
Academics matalino, sa school sila ang bibo, at sa kulay verde. Diyan ang project sa angas dito po pwede.
Sa newsletter makikita, masititas na makata. Pag preparations na hesitation daw, sa pre-recreation. Let's go tayo pa nga ang sigaw, iba'y labi ko ay bughaw. At walang aawat, kulang watawat, sports committee malakas. At bawat batch mayroong officer, sapat na sipag at syaga sir. Advisor and alumni sa nagkukulay, gumagabay sa ating buhay. Iga ng hangay, isa, tarat na, ngumiti ka, nandito kami. ISEP MUSC. Pagdating sa Mapua, diretso pag
Next slide po. So, na-LSS ba kayo sa ISEP Malakas, ISEP number 1? So, to start off, what is ISEP MUSC and ano nga bang meron dito? So, the Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines, Mapua University Student Chapter, is the sole recognized student organization exclusive for ECE students in Mapua. So the organization started on July 24, 1986, with only two members, no permanent tambayan, and no official set of officers. So in one academic year, the organization is divided into two batches would acquire two terms per tenure. So from two members, the organization grew larger. In the present, it consists of 241 members. So a combination of elected and assigned officers from the members are to form a total of 30 officers that lead the organization. Next slide, please. So the organization is divided into six committees, namely Academics Committee, Newsletter Committee, Project Committee, Public Relations Committee, Sports Committee, and lastly is the Technical Committee. So to know more about our organization, let us watch this AVP presentation. Okay, don't worry, kahit online tayo, we still have team building, webinars, workshops, esports, and many more. And before I forgot, I want to invite you guys on the first webinar this tenure that will be held on August 18, 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. entitled COVID Mapua, Coming Out Vividly in Doom from Mapua by Engineer Jesse Balbin. So see you guys. So what are you waiting for? You know what they say. Kung ECE ka, dapat ISEP ka. If you want to join ISEP, application period starts next week. So don't forget to follow and like our page to be updated. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you are an ISEPers the next time I see your names. That is all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jewel, for that wonderful introduction about your organization. So now we'll go back to the IIEE organization to be represented by Mr. Adrian Nalyatan.
Hi guys, can you hear me now? I'm sorry that I had a technical issue a while ago. So I'm gonna share to you guys what made me join the IIE fam and what is IIEE MU really all about. Before I begin, I want to give you a few facts about myself. I'm AJ Alyatan, a second year electrical engineering student at Mapua Universities doing online studies for the past year. So IIE is an academic organization that I found while I was looking for a Mapuan community that will help me go through the challenges that I was facing last year. As we all know, Mapuan life is a bit more stressful and challenging compared to other universities. Next slide, please. So what is IIEE-MUSC? It stands for the Institute of Integrated Electrical Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated, Mapua University Student Chapter. It was established on the year of 1975, and the Mapua University Student Chapter was established by Mr. Engineer Benjamin Frico on the December 15, 1995. Next slide, please. So our objectives in the IIEE is to promote solidarity among electrical engineering students of the Mapua University and other chapters affiliated with the IIEE national organization, and to act as the nerve center in the university for all programs and activities of significance to electrical engineering students. Next slide, please. To effect a way of communication of vital information and technical know-how in the field of electrical engineering and related disciplines of interest to the IIEMU members, and also to encourage research and intensive study in line with the technical development and innovation. Next slide, please. And also, we aim to serve as a link to the IIEE, CSC, and the electrical engineering professionals, and to promote goodwill with other organizations and for those people who are in need of great help. So we achieve this through the activities that we have, such as the applicants orientation, general assembly, sports fest, and most of all, the webinars facilitated by the linkages of the IIEE. Established engineers, professionals, and knowledgeable individuals was a standard of the speakers involved. Next slide, please. So our three goals is unity, integrity, excellence. And we stand by the code that excellence is our standard. Next slide, please. Next slide. Our advisors are Engineer Esperanza Chua and Mr. Engineer Ronald Vincent Santiago. So these are some of the professors that you will also encounter during the future courses that you will take under our course, electrical engineering. So they're also our advisors in IIEEMU. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Here are the events that we take even if it's pandemic. So we have successfully done this through the online setting. So first is the General Assembly, where the alumni, the members, and the applicants gather together and participate in many games and activities together. So we value the camaraderie among our members, alumni, and applicants. Also, the Sports Fest is a highlight or a major event in our organization wherein we get together and compete with each other and enjoy and spend time with each other so that we can develop relationship among ourselves. Next slide, please. Also, we have academic awards and seminars or webinars. The academic awards are a great way to help promote dedication and commitment to the excellence of our members and alumni and the applicants on our organization. So even if it's pandemic, all of these activities and events have took place last year. So it is more enjoyable if we get the chance to perform these events uh, on the face-to-face setting. But during the pandemic, as we all know, are we individuals are locked down in our own homes and must perform this online. And I'm proud to inform you guys that we were able to do all of these events and future events in the online setting. So especially the webinars and seminars, we have lots of those, and you will surely enjoy them. Next slide, please. Uh, this is the applicant's orientation way back, I think in 2018 or 2019, when before the pandemic. So it is the first event that most applicants participate in. It's a major event wherein uh, alumni and members, current members and officers and applicants gather and orient the applicants. Next slide. Induction is the formal um, membership of the into the IIEE organization. So our batch haven't um, done the actual face-to-face because of the pandemic. But the previous batch or the future batch, when the time comes that we can all go outside, we will do this, I'm sure, and we will definitely enjoy, as you can see in the pictures. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So, hold on. Can you go back? So, if you want to join the organization, kindly contact the social media um, accounts of the IIEE. So, especially the Facebook page. So, keep up to date with the post when is the applicant's orientation and the application begins. So, I'm very excited to see all of you guys there. Um, Yeba. Okay, let's watch the video.
Okay, thank you, Adrian, for introducing the IIEE-MUSC organization. Next, now may I call the Membership Committee Head of ICPEP SE Mapua, Ms. Joan Marie Batong Bakal, to give us an introduction to the Institute of Computer Engineers of the Philippines Student Edition, Mapua Chapter. Ms. Joan?
Okay, so introduction etiquette. So what's up mga Frosh? I would like to give you all a heartfelt welcome to Mapua University. I am Joanne from the Institute of Computer Engineers of the Philippines, Student Edition Mapua Chapter, commonly known as ICPEP.SE Mapua. But before we head to the fun stuff, ano nga ba ang ICPEP.SE Mapua? We are an organization exclusive for computer engineering students of Mapua University, serving as a chapter of a national organization, the Institute of Computer Engineers of the Philippines, also known as ICPEP. So yung ICPEP, hindi lang siya pang Makati, pang Intramuros, pwede rin tayo sa NCR at sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. So di ba ang ganda? Okay. So, we promote academic excellence and social interaction to our members by giving academic assistance and providing activities that will inculcate their technical skills. Also, we hold the classroom tutorials for subjects given by our members who hold scholarships we had experience in teaching before. So, if need mo ng help sa ACADS, nandito yung mga members ng ICPEP para tulungan ka. So, kung CPE ka, mag-ICPEP ka. Okay. So, for the mission, vision, and the organization core values, ICPEP makes it so that our mission is to provide the academic needs of computer engineering students in the institute through the use of collaborative learning. Our organization provides relative content and project to the members without resorting to the use of illegitimate means or promoting unethical practices in attaining a better academic standing. We envision ourselves as the catalyst to the academic and social needs of computer engineering students of the Institute. As for our core values, we have integrity, commitment, principle, enthusiasm, and perseverance. We are service-oriented and ethical, or simply ICPEP.SE. Okay, so now we proceed with the benefits ng org namin. Okay. So first, academic assistance to the members of the organization. So nasabi ko nga, if need nyo ng help sa ACADS, we are here to help you guys. Then we also offer technical and non-technical seminars and workshops for your immersive learning experience. Also, we have membership to the national organization, student edition, and participation in the activities catered by them. So, next. So, ito na yun guys, yung pinakainitay natin. Bakit nga ba ICPEP? So, ito yung mga ino-offer namin sa org namin. So, CPE Week is an event for CPE students wherein we conduct seminars and workshops and also competitions like breadboarding, programming, robotics, and quiz bee. So, yung mga winners ng competitions, pinapadala namin sa mga regional competition. And kapag nanalo ka sa regional competition, may chance ka na maipasok dun sa national competition. So, di ba, ang grabe yung experience kapag ICPEP ka. So, ayun. Here, we also have retrospective. Etong retrospective, hinandle siya nung F2F pa. So, siya yung parang dance night. So, yung mga CP students, ayan, magkakasama sila dun sa center, tapos ayan, dance lang sila dun. Then, yung sa YEP, yun yung partnership ng ICPEP.SE Mapua. Since sila yung nag-handle ng parang ng mga tournaments like Valorant, COD, and ML. So, next. Ayan, so na-mention ko kanina na napapasabak tayo sa mga regional and international or national na mga competitions. So yung first two picks, yan yung sa regional competitions wherein we won the first runner-up for breadboarding and programming, ganyan, competition. Then for the second photo, yan yung naging nakasama tayo sa national competition and nag-championship ang ICPEP.SE. So sa programming. So, di ba? Ang galing. So, next. Ayan. So here are some webinars na nakonduct namin successfully during the pandemic. Ayan. Madami-dami din siya, guys. Sure na makakatulong yan sa mga advanced studies or ayan. Ayan. So nabanggit ko nga yung mga tournaments. So kung interested kayo sumali sa mga tournaments like Valorant, like ML, so pwedeng-pwede kayo dito, di ba? Nag-enjoy ka na nga, may pa-prize pa, di ba? So, saan ka pa? ICPEP ka na. Okay, so next. Ayan, for our past induction, for the brief description ng induction is a formal event wherein parang ginagawa siya for formality. Then, para maging official member ka ng ICPEP, magkakaroon tayo ng induction. So, yung first na picture, yun yung nangyari nung dun sa Vikings, or ayan, di ba? Tuwan-tuwa sila dyan kasi may pa-food trip, di ba? So, saan ka pa? So, since pandemic naman ngayon, naging successful pa rin, di ba? Kung gusto mo nga, sabi nila, may paraan. So, kung gusto mo mag-enjoy or maranasan yung induction, syempre, pwedeng-pwede ka dito. So, nagkaroon kami ng online induction, which is in Minecraft, then sa VR chat, and many more. So, di ba? Ang enjoy. So, next. Ayan. So, here is the video for the past induction.
You look stunning, dear, so don't ask that question here. This is my only fear, could we become beautiful people? Top designer, front row fashion show. What you do, who you know? Inside we want beautiful people. Everyone knows, breathe notes and broken bones. Surrounded but still alone. Let's leave the fight. Beautiful people,
So, yun, di ba? Nakita niyo naman yung video. Ang saya-saya nila. So, hindi ka lang natuto, nag-enjoy ka pa. So, here is the social media account for icpep.se Mapua. So, please kindly like or follow or share the page of ICPEP Mapua kung interested kayo mag-join. So, para update kayo sa mga events ng icpep.se Mapua. So, ayan. Follow our accounts in Instagram and Facebook as shown in the screen. Ayan. So, kung si Pika nga, mag-ICPEP ka. So, open na po yung registration namin for Byte 11. So, we hope that you, Froshies, can join us in our Byte 11 this term and for the future events. So, thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, Miss Joanne, for that wonderful introduction about ICPEP.SE. Next, we have the branch secretary of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Incorporated, Mapua University Student Branch, Miss Cristel Sese, to introduce their organization. Miss Cristel.
Good morning, Frosh. I'll be presenting my org, IEEE MUSB. I am Cristel Sese, the branch secretary of IEEE MUSB. Next slide. Next. What is IEEE? IEEE is a non-profit technical professional association which has more than 377,000 individual members in 150 countries. IEEE stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Incorporated, and most popularly known and referred as IEEE. IEEE is a leading authority in technical areas ranging from computer engineering, biomedical technology, and telecommunications to electric power, aerospace, and consumer electronics. Next. IEEE has its technical publishing, conferences, and consensus-based standards activities, which produces 30% of the world's published literature in electrical engineering, computers, and control technology. It holds annually more than 300 major conferences and has nearly 900 active standards with 700 under development. Next. What is IEEE MUSB? IEEE MUSB is a student branch of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Incorporated. IEEE MUSB is open for electrical engineering students, electronic engineering students, and computer engineering students. IEEE student branches are established over 900 universities and colleges throughout the world. In the Philippines, there are currently 7 student branches, and one of them is Mapua University. Student branch activities offer numerous educational, technical, and professional advantages of IEEE membership through special projects, activities, meetings, tours, and field trips. Next. Our branch advisor is Dr. Michael C. Pasis, PhD in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, University of the Philippines, Diliman, Master of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, Mapua University, Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Mapua University. Next. Our branch counselor is Dr. Jennifer De La Cruz, Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Communication Engineering, Master's degree in Electronics and Communications Engineering, Doctorate degree in Electronics and Communications Engineering, and she is the current lead of chairperson of IEEE Region 10 Student Activities Committee 2021. Next. So IEEE was established on January 1, 1963 by merging the AIEE and IRE to form IEEE. At its formation, the IEEE had 150,000 members. 140,000 are from United States. Next. Mapua opens its door to IEEE as an addition to its roster of advanced technical programs in support of its mission of providing globally competitive engineers. So IEEE MUSB was established October 18, 2002 by Engineer Orland G. Basas. Next. Our mission is IEEE's core purpose is to foster technological innovation and excellence for the benefit of humanity. Next vision. IEEE will be essential to the global technical community and to technical professionals everywhere, and be universally recognized for the contribution of technology and of technical professionals in improving global conditions. Next. IEEE MUSB has core values that is called by the acronym PILER, which stands for Professionalism, Integrity, Leadership, Spirit de Corps, Remuneration. Next. So what are the local benefits of joining IEEE MUSB? So first, leadership training, workshops, and develop leadership intrapersonal and team building skills. Second, discount on seminars, induction, and other organizations, program, and activities. Third, knowledge sharing. Fourth, right to vote. Fifth, officership as committee staff. Sixth, application for international membership. Seventh, student branch ID. Eighth, privilege to join research team. And last, own a local newsletter, The Oracle. Next. For the international benefits, you can access online research materials, online seminars, online trainings, international recognitions, IEEE Society membership, for CPE Computer Society, for the ECE Power Electronics, and for the EE is Power Engineering. Lastly is the subscription to the monthly magazine Spectrum. Next. For the events of the org, we have seminars, technical and non-technical seminars. Because of the pandemic, all seminars are conducted virtually. Next. Next is IEEE Week. a week-long event of seminars, workshops, competitions, and more. Next. Next is MSDT, which stands for Management Skills and Development Training. We have two MSDTs. The first one is Mini MSDT, which is 1 day long team building, which is usually for application period, usually first and third quarter of the school year. And MSDT, a 3 day long event along with induction, usually second and fourth quarter of the school year. Due to the pandemic, we can only conduct the MSDT virtually. Next. So for the induction, which is held on the third day after MSDT, and also we conducted the induction virtually. Next. Next is the Sports Fest, where you can show your skills in sports, but due to the pandemic, we still conduct the Sports Fest virtually by playing esports games and online board games. Next. Next is the Oracle, which is the official newsletter of IEEE MUSB. Next. For the research and design, we have the first one, which is the automated logging system using passive radius frequency identification, which is the picture in the right side. And currently, IEEE MUSB is conducting a research entitled Google Code-based system for IEEE MUSB event participants, attendance recording utilizing deep face, deep learning, facial recognition library. Members can also join the research team. Next. So our application period is in second and fourth quarter of the school year. You can check our website www.ieee-musb.org, or for more info, our FB page, just search IEEE MU Student Branch, Twitter at IEEE-MUSB, and Instagram IEEE Mapua SB. Thank you so much and good luck on your EECE journey.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Cristel, for introducing the IEEE MUSB organization. Now, may I call the President of the Junior Philippine Computer Society, Mr. John Rafael Pangilinan, to introduce their organization.
Yes, thank you, Kathleen. Before I start my presentation, may I request for the video to be played? Okay, once again, good afternoon, everyone. I am Rafael from the Junior Philippine Computer Society Mapua University chapter, and my presentation for today will be focusing mostly on the new normal operations of JPCS. Next slide, please. So JPCS Mapua is an information and communication technology-centered organization with a diverse community comprised of members taking up electrical, electronics, and computer engineering, information technology, computer science, and multimedia and visual arts. So our organization is also a recognized chapter of the Junior Philippine Computer Society Nationals Incorporated, the student arm of Philippine Computer Society. Next, please. So for our advisors, we have Engineer Charmaine Paglinawan, a faculty member from the School of EECE, and Engineer Johnny Padilla, also a faculty member from the School of EECE. Next slide, please. So why should you choose JPCS Mapua? So first and foremost, the organization has been existing for 32 years already, upholding connectivity, interaction, and emergence. So we also have more than 70 active members and more than 600 alumni, which forms our alumni networks that provides job opportunities to our members after graduation. So JPCS also fulfilled more than 43 partnerships already and catered about 4,820 attendees on our events. Next slide, please. So for our technical events, we have series of webinars and workshops in which some of our recent topics are cybersecurity, getting started with Raspberry Pi, introduction to Arduino boards, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, software design, startup mixers, and etc. Next slide, please. So what about for our non-technical events? For our non-technical events, we have our Sports Fest, or which we have shifted into the Esports Fest to fit our new normal operations, amazing race, ultimate bonding experience, non-technical seminars or webinars, and JP Olympics, which is our version of academic Olympics. Next slide, please. So for our partnerships, GPCS Mapua had partnered with several local and international companies, and some of which are presented in the screen. And apart from these companies, we also partnered with several organizations from various universities here in the country. Next slide. Okay, so the organization also promotes constant socialization through these activities such as the ultimate bonding experience, team building games, and online games such as Valorant, MLN, etc. And these are hosted through our Discord server. Next slide, please. Okay, and lastly, the JPCS Mapua upholds collaborative academic environment in which we can help you academically, especially with the courses that you might be struggling in through our willing and dedicated members. Last slide, please. Okay, so our pre-registration is now open. You may scan our QR code, the QR code found on your screens, or access the link bit.ly dash or slash rather JPCS B60 pre-reg. Also, don't forget to check out our social media accounts and our website www.jpcsmapua.org and our Facebook page www.facebook.com/jpcsmapua and our Twitter and Instagram accounts at jpcsmapua. If you want to be a part of something big, exciting, interactive, and adventurous, consider being a part of JPCS Mapua. It is our privilege to have you on board. Thank you and enjoy your college life, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Rafael. It was nice getting to know more about JPCS. Okay, so that's all for the organizations under the EECE department. Once again, I am Kathleen Andy Rodriguez from the organization of ISEP MUSC. Goodbye, guys. I'm now returning the mic to Miss Jaya.
So thank you, Kathleen, and thank you to all of our faculty members from the different departments, as well as the EEC organizations for providing us with very insightful talks and introductions of your organizations. I'm sure that the freshmen now have a general idea of their programs and the organizations they can join and how it would benefit them. Now, let us move on to the question and answer portion. Participants, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to type them out in the Q&A section of this live by indicating the speaker or organization that you want to ask the question to, followed by your question. We will then ask those questions for you. Thank you. So, our first question is, good morning po. Safe lang po ba ang orientation ng computer engineering and electronics engineering? Yes, the orientation today is actually the same for the electrical, electronics, and computer engineering. And then, up to ilang orgs po ba ang pwedeng salihan? Up to ilang orgs po pwedeng salihan? I think there's no limit, sir. Any sir or ma'am? Is there any limit in joining organizations?
Depends on their management, I think. It depends on their time management. It's very important that they actually divide their time in academics and in co-curricular activities. So it's better that they think of their schedule first, but prioritize their academic, and then when they have enough time, so they can actually devote that to the organizations for as long as they manage both. So wala namang limit. Kasi nung college din ako, sinalihan ko rin naman lahat eh. Okay? Pero they can actually join because they as many as they could for as long as they have time.
Thank you, sir. So I hope that answers your question. So we have another question. Good afternoon. Is there a possibility of shifting from fully online to blended learning?
I think they can actually shift from yes, from one platform to another platform. They can actually do that. I think they can also shift from BS to SMS. So pwede rin nilang gawin yun. All they need to do is just to coordinate or to talk about the registrar about it, and they will be provided with the necessary things that they need to do. Okay, in order for them to transfer from one platform to another platform. Okay. Pero hindi during hindi na pwede yung magpapalit during. So they must do it at least before the beginning of the term.
Okay,
Okay.
so thank you, sir. Do we have more questions from the attendees? I'm sure as freshmen, there are a lot of questions that you guys want to ask. So feel free to ask them now.
Yes. We encourage you to ask questions so that we can entertain it as early as now. So if you have doubts, at least we can clear them out.
We have one question, sir. Required po bang mag-join ng organization?
Actually, it's not a requirement, but if you want to have many friends that could actually help you to survive Mapua, because it's really hard to be alone in Mapua, you know? I myself, I can attest to that, that you really, some people are really introvert during the time that they enter Mapua, but apparently when they meet their friends already, they establish networks, the more that these friends actually can help them survive all the different courses and be able to graduate on time. Kaya it depends on the company that you are going to be with. So kaya yun din yun, isa sa mga advantages ng mga organizations. Malaking tulong yan. So marirealize nyo na nandyan yung mga resources sa mga org. So
That is true po, sir. As an upperclassman, I actually asked that also in my first year. Like, is it required to join an organization? And I got different responses. Some were like, yes. Some were like, no. Some were like, bala ka sa buhay mo.
yes. Kasi even if you're like a loner type, I think you still need connection. You still need to be that someone is actually updating you about what's happening in the campus, or even though that we are not there physically, but there are some announcement that people in the organizations could actually help you. Okay, so maraming advantages. And aside from that, it's joining that organization could actually break your normal routine, your regular routine. Because we need to have some sort of diversion for our mental health. Because if you are only focused on your academic and you are overthinking about your courses, about the projects and everything, the organizations could actually break that monotonous pattern that there are several things that the organization is these organizations are offering other than academics, di ba? Kaya nga kanina nakita ko, you are really enjoying your org because of these activities. So ganun din, kaya I am encouraging everyone. So makita nyo naman, magandang presentation ng mga org. All you just need to do is to pick. But they are equally very good, very well, excellent experiences can be provided to you by these organizations.
Thank you po, sir. So we have another question. Is it common for students across all three departments to work together, like research thesis or academic paper?
Yes, actually, we encourage collaboration. Not necessarily that you are ECE, you can only work with your fellow ECE. Not that. We are actually one family, one community. So we can actually collaborate. And aside from that, even advisors actually in thesis. So we collaborate on each other. Like ECE faculty can be advisors to EE and then CPE, and the same with the CPE and EE faculty members that can also be advisors to the ECE students. So we encourage collaboration.
Okay, so
Sir Jay, I just want to add something. Will it be okay? Kay Jaya, ano lang. With regards to the dun sa thesis, research thesis, so for the research thesis, pang EEEC, ECPE, ganon. So you need to be in one department. But for research project,
Yeah.
so you can do collaboration with other courses, but to other programs. But with regards to research thesis, so you just need to partner with your department for EE.
Grouping actually must be on the same program. Pero marami kasing project na pwedeng gawin ng ECE, ng CPE, ng EE altogether. Pero yung groupmate mo must belong to the same program. Kasi by twos lang naman yung thesis. Tama, Ma'am Jo? Si Ma'am Jo kasi yung research coordinator natin.
Yes, Sir Jay, tama po. But with regards to research project, you can collaborate with other programs. Thank you.
And not limited to ECE only. They can collaborate with programs like ME kung sa tingin nila mayroong part na kailangan ng EE sa ME or kailangan ng ECE on the project of ME or mining. So pwede rin naman gawin yan kahit sa mga CPE, CHE, ibang programs. Pero you can collaborate in the project. Pero yung groupmate mo dapat must belong on the same program as yours. Okay?
Thank you, sir and ma'am, for answering the questions. So unfortunately, that wraps up our program. That is all for today. If you have further inquiries, you can actually message the official EECE Facebook page and you may send your inquiries there. Any of the organizers here can respond to your inquiries. And if you guys are interested to join any of the organizations that presented a while ago, you guys can also send an inquiry in their official Facebook page as well. So thank you, everyone. Hope you all did enjoy the presentations and talks. Always stay safe, everyone, and stay at home. Once again, I am Jaya Martinez from icpep.sc Mapua. Goodbye and God bless.